We always can train our body in gyms, but we cannot train our mind in a controlled area because otherwise you cannot train it. You need to be exposed. You need to be there. You need to feel the fear, and you need to feel all the feeling that you can have in the mountains. So during that, as it's called experience, of course, I trained a lot this ability to stay in a bubble, to feeling the flow when you're climbing or when you're highlining, especially highlining. You or I feel in a bubble of concentration, and to enter this bubble, you need to free your mind. You need to go ahead just with the instinct, without thinking what you're doing, because you are so experienced that you don't think anymore of how you put the feet or how you put the hand. You just do it automatically. And it's just a mental game then. And to be in that state, you don't need to force you to go into the state. So to think, okay, now I want to go into the bubble, because it's impossible, because actually you are thinking to go into the bubble. And the game is not to think. And so in some situation, it just happened like a clip. With all my experience, I'm able to enter this one. It's not always easy. It's not always immediate, but I have this gift, and I love to enter this state, because when you empty yourself, then you can put something inside again. When you empty yourself, you you can collect then more experience, more feeling, more friends. It's like the computer when you do the refresh of the computer. It's something like that. I need to empty to refill again. And this feeling, I used to have this feeling on pre-soloing or highlining or on flying, are different kind of bubbles, because, for example, highlining is very clear when you are focused or not, because when you're focused, you can walk easily as you walk on the street. But when you start thinking about other things, the webbing start to move. So is immediate the feedback of how you are inside or not in the bubble. When you are climbing, is more long, is a marathon. So you can relax sometimes, because a wall is not always a very straight wall. So you can have ledges where you can rest a bit and then start climbing again. For sure, you know the famous picture of Alex Honnold, the free soloing El Capitan in Yosemite, that
Yeah.
is hanging with the back on the wall, but without climbing, because it's part of the wall, so you don't need to climb all the time. So this is a different feeling. And then wingsuiting, for sure, is the most powerful one, but even the most short one. We have, like, I would say, all the speciality of mind train on these activities, and changing all the time is something that is really good, because I lost a lot of friends in all these sports, and most of them were super focused and super specialized in one thing. And when you do all the time one thing, then some automatism go into your head and you forgot things, you make mistakes. So if you change the activities, my mind is always active and think about, I always feel scared doing this activity when I do free soloing in general or wingsuiting. I just able to manage this feeling and to hug them and not to refuse them. Fear is something that our society teach to run away from the fear. If something is scary, you don't go. Instead of doing this, I said, okay, if I feel this fear, maybe I should investigate. I should understand how it works. And this is how I found a way. Because most of the people say, oh, you are an adrenaline addict. You don't feel the fear. I do. And I don't feel anymore the adrenaline rush, because jumping for me a wingsuit is something completely normal. I have more than 1,000 jumps So I do it on a weekly basis. And so it's more about the pure feeling of feeling like a bird or feeling like a chamois climbing. So yeah, that's it.
Is there a clear line for you when fear becomes panic?
I experienced really, really few times panic in my life because actually this mental train is something that train you even for panic attack or panic situation. Uh, if your mind stay clear in difficult situation for a long time or more time during a year, then when is something really dangerous happen, you can be really it's clean what you should do, and so I just act like this without thinking because I know the situation and I know what to do, so I don't need to therefore to think about the feelings. Okay, so that's what
Mm.
then makes you panic. The feeling is that there is not a straight line, but the times I did, I felt panic. I mean, it
Mm.
finished quickly. It finished quickly. Let's say.
Were you able to control and to contain your panic by realizing, okay, now I'm having panic and I need to calm down, or how did you sort of catch it and get out of that panic?
So basically, is breathing. The breath is something we don't think a lot in our life because it's automatic for us. But the more and more nowadays, people are studying it. Physiotherapists are prescribed for doing exercise for breathing. And this is something that I used to do a lot on highlighting because to enter this flow state, you need to think just about one thing, to focus on one thing. And this is my breath and the sound my breath do in my mouth. So every step is like this. And so during a panic attack or during different difficult situation is something that even the doctor tell you, so to breathe. So this technique is perfect for those situations. So just don't think anymore about the situation. Just focus on yourself and your breath. Then when you calm down, you can start again with new energy to deal with the situation. This is my system.